My name is Goya. I am the VP of Finance and Accounting for Power Technologies. We are mobile device management company. So basically, what we provide is solutions for charging, storing, and sanitizing mobile devices. We are located in Temecula, California.
Thank you so much for spending some time just to do this. What I wanted to understand was to take a step back, think about, you were in the middle of implementing NetSuite when we first reached out, and we're looking for someone to help with like doing some QA and UAT. And I was like, well, it's going to be a little tough because you have to know about your business in order to do good UAT, and that's the only challenge. But tell me about the decision process of wanting to go with NetSuite. Like, what were the pain points prior to NetSuite that you were trying to solve?
So before we were in a program, we used a program that was heavily customized. And over the years, the owners of the company have been tweaking it and tweaking it. And it got to the point where we were completely dependent on two people in the company that could understand where the information was and how reports could be run. And the accounting application that they were using at the time was very basic. So it was giving us very minimal, just the standard reporting, but nothing else. So that's when we started looking at other solutions, and NetSuite ended up being the winner, and we decided to go that route. So we went through the initially we were sold the idea that we were simple enough and small enough that we could do the implementation ourselves directly with NetSuite. And that got that got to a rocky road where we got frustrated because the process was getting delayed and delayed, and it ended up being pushed. I don't remember if it was 6 months or a year, but things were not flowing at the rate that we were hoping. So that's when I believe it was our someone from our private equity group is the one that
Yeah.
directed us, put us in contact with you guys, and said they had good things to say about Anchor Group, and they say talk to them, they can help you, and that's where you guys came on board. It was, I believe, it was just like 3 or 4 months before we were scheduled to go live, and we were
Yeah,
afraid that it wasn't going to happen again, and you guys kind of took us through the finish line.
that's great. Yeah, I remember that when I was first trying to set expectations, just making sure that we can click through some things in the user acceptance testing. And then from there, we'd kind of understand your business. Otherwise, we were worried that it would delay your implementation if we had to go through all those business process requirements.
Right.
So we tried to get creative with finding like a hybrid approach, which hopefully worked out fairly well because to be able to get the implementation done in time.
Right. Right.
Yeah. And then from there, it kind of moved into more optimization and ongoing support and just random miscellaneous requests. And you've been working with one of our team members, Jack. So tell me a little bit about some of the types of tasks and projects and things that have been coming up in the last couple of years.
We knew that, okay, crossing the line wasn't going to be enough, that as we move forward, we were going to find things that we didn't think of that we would like to change. And there were like one of the main things, or one of the main things in my side was when we think of our business, we think in divisions. And but then within the division, there are departments. So we found that NetSuite was perfectly set up to manage departments. Everything could be tracked or reported, but not so much for our divisions. And that was something that after the implementation, we had to go back to Jack many times and say, hey, we don't have divisions when we load budgets. Oh, we don't have divisions when we book this type of transactions. Hey, we were always missing that link. And that took us a few iterations to now finally have it across the system.
So you're like updating data throughout the process. Were you creating that as a segment in that case, or like a classification?
Yes. And then there was the whole, so one of the areas where we weren't in the past was in the international market. So we needed a whole new set of documents, like our quotes were different, our sales orders were different, our so Jack helped us create a whole set of documents, PDF documents that were for the international division only, or specific.
Yeah, I'd say it's really common for there to be many iterations on PDF templates, especially when you have a need to have it print in a different manner from one transaction to another. But I hear that a lot and I see it a lot where I'm talking with people and the very first thing they need to start with is their
Yeah,
PDF
yeah.
templates.
We've
Makes
had,
sense.
yeah, you're right. We had him work on PDF templates quite often.
When you kind of look back over the last couple of years with any engagement, like there's a couple things that we try to do. We try and pair expertise, and then the other part is like a relational aspect from a relationship. What is it like working with someone on a personal level as a
Yeah.
person? And you've talked about a little bit about the technical projects and some of those, but what's been your experience on just working with us as people?
It felt almost as if Jack was part of our company. It almost felt like he was one of our team members. He didn't feel like an outside consultant. And it in a couple of levels, it was, I mean, because his personality, he was, very friendly and engaging, and it was very easy to work with. And then, I mean, you create a trust, maybe, that we trusted him with a lot of confidential information, or with a lot of internal issues. So it was a very trustworthy, I guess.
Yeah. I think that the way I think and coach people on our team from not just learning and always doing professional development because NetSuite's massive. That's like one piece of the puzzle, and then the relationship side. And kind of on that same note of relationship, I'm curious, like, did you feel heard and valued as well?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, um,
Good.
yeah. We could see that, there was an effort on your guys' side to truly understand our problem. It wasn't like, oh,
Awesome.
quick fix.
Yeah, it's a part of overall success in a project is understanding that people are humans and there's human emotions and reactions, and there's actually just like
Yeah,
doing the job and getting it done.
I think the relationship ended up being um kind of deeper, in a way where, to your point, if we could tell that Jack wasn't getting it, we could tell him. Like, it didn't feel like we had to pretend. We could tell, no, 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 you're not getting it. That's not the direction we want to go. And we could directly be very transparent with him, say, no, 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 you're going the wrong way. That's not what we meant.
Yeah, and then like correct that course of action and work together through it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like working with any person or any employee same way. Like an employee in a full-time employee in your organization also needs like to get realignment on what you want to achieve, right? Same
Right.
concept.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Uh, if we think about, is there one main thing that has been done that you feel like has been the most impact on the organization?
I honestly think the most important thing has been almost like the transfer of knowledge. The fact that we had all these sessions with Jack where we would present him with a problem, and he would brainstorm with us, and he would sort of teach us, oh, if I were you, I would look here. I think we should look here. I think you should create a safe search. I think so. It's almost like he taught us how to think.
Yeah, how to problem solve and the same like thinking out loud on his thought process so that you could absorb that same thought process.
Right. So now sometimes it's like, okay, where would Jack look into?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think a lot of times people ask for training and I when I recommend how to do training, I said just work alongside of us for a while.
Yeah.
You'll eventually pick it up and just by observation and seeing it. And that's one value add. The other value add is we're providing the bandwidth in order to have like the time to help execute those projects where our clients can be thinking of the ideas that will be more value add for their business. Looking into the future, have you been thinking about any unique projects that you've been excited that maybe weren't possible to do in your existing legacy system that NetSuite is capable of?
The whole CRM section is kind of the our yeah new opportunity
Yeah.
where in our prior life looking at our pipeline and all that was very obscure, and now we are learning. It's kind of like a work in progress still, but how to manage the leads, the opportunities, and how to follow up on those, that's kind of the main area, I would say.
It can be a lot of possibilities to wrap your head around
Yeah,
what you want.
yeah. I'm gonna say, I mean, we are grateful. It's been a good experience. We are grateful that you have taken us from before NetSuite to where we are today. I think, yeah, it felt like you guys, or in the case of Jack at the end, at the beginning we had, well, Jacob and Jack to get us through the implementation, and then we just stayed with Jack for almost two years, and he understood our company really well. So I think that that was very helpful.
Yeah, we try really hard not to swap out resources for clients. And if it's necessary to do, to make it a really soft process where where we're like, it's going to be a couple people there for like a 2-month transfer of knowledge so that it's not feeling abrupt. And it's been really nice. We try really hard. In your case, having the same resource available for a couple of years. Well, I'm glad that it's been working out really well, and I know that you're transitioning kind to ad hoc support here. Usually that makes sense whenever, like, it's like, "I ran out of ideas, I need to recoup my thoughts."
Right, right. Yeah, it's time to see, yeah, where we are. Yeah.
Yeah. Great.